Hey, shalom, shalom, Mosiah in Christ blessed. It is Sunday, November 14th, and you're on with Israel United in Christ on WGAI 560 AM. Go check out our website. It is www.israelunite.org. Again, that website is www.israelunite.org. If you want to reach us, our number is 1-855-484-4842, extension 798. Again, that number is 1-855-484-4842, extension 798. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or black militia group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1 of the King James Bible. I'm your host, Officer Iskar, and we have in the studio
Officer Nahum,
Officer EL, Officer Joe,
Officer Hezekiah.
And today our topic is, Officer Nahum?
Topic today is going to be on big simping. Big simping. Yeah, we know a lot of people don't know what the word simping means, simping. So we're going to give you the definition here real soon, but we're going to start off, give me John 8:32.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the scriptures say, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. What is the truth that's going to make our people free, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today? Read.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
Hear that? Thy what is the truth?
Thy law is the truth.
So that's what we're going to bring out to you. We're going to bring out to you God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we're going to bring out our history to show you some things in the scriptures that line up with, events that took place and things that's going on today, prophecies that's taking place. So with that, give me Romans chapter 15 and verse 4 real quick. So we got to, we got to bring everything out. We got to bring it out as it is written, okay?
The book of Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever thing were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So that what now?
That the comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
So this is where we seek our comfort at. Whenever we go through trials and tribulations, things come upon us. Hey, this is our therapy. This is where we can read about our forefathers going through similar or worse tragedies, things that happened in their time. How did they overcome it? What did they do? They counted on the Most High, okay? So we're going to get the definition here of simping real quick. Let's get the urban definition of simp. The word S-I-M-P, simp.
This is the Urban Dictionary, simp. Someone who does way too much for a person they like.
Right. This is going into for someone that does way too much for a person they like. So is there more to it on that?
Yeah. It says a word that everyone overuses without the correct definition. It means a guy that is overly desperate for women.
Who?
A man who's overly desperate for women.
Right. So that goes into today. You see a lot of our people. This happens in our communities. We see this in the hoods. We see this in, amongst the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. This happened even happened amongst the other nations. Right. Our people go overboard. That's why you have what you call a sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? You got these old folks, they call them sugar daddy, the old man. They out here spending all this money trying to entice a woman, and the time I would drink their bath water and all that type of stuff. That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be like that, okay? So with that right there, give me we're gonna start off here with First Ezra chapter 4 and we're gonna start at verse 13 here. We're gonna show you Romans 15 and 4, show you some history, with this account taking place here, during history. So, but this right here is gonna show you about the Persian, during the time of the Persian and Mede captivity. You had a Persian king, and he was simping on his wife, okay? So let's find out what was going on.
The book of First Ezra, chapter 4, verse 13. Then the third who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak.
Right, so now we're going to read about our forefather Zerubbabel, what he brought out. So read what you got.
O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither it is wine, that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or have the lordship over them? Are they not women?
Right. So he's saying that his answer was the women. You'd read about the other men they had mentioned about wine, different, other kings and stuff. They were mentioning their other reasons. But Zerubbabel, he was an Israelite. This is our forefather. Okay, he's bringing out a point here about the women, that the women had a stronghold on a lot of the men, even today. Read.
Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land.
Right.
Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyard, from whence the wine cometh.
Right. Read.
These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Right, because you know what I'm saying, we gotta have a wife. A woman would bring forth, the children, right? The man plant the seed, and the woman would give birth, right? So there's a lot of things that the women do. Women works. Women, they do sewing and they cook, so on and so forth. Hey, we gotta have that help me to help us out in the house. Read.
Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely and favor and beauty?
Right. Hear that. So, because it says, yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, we give jewelry and things of that nature. We like to give those things to our wives. You'll see, but a Simpin man, he gonna try to give her everything just to try to get it between her pants. Read.
And letting all those things go, do they not gape, and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold, or any goodly thing whatsoever?
Right. So this going into, that man, he going into that female. He go crazy. He'll do anything. Just like, you see a dog in heat, a male dog, so you tie him up, you let him loose, you ain't gonna see him for months. He turned into a simp during that time of that season of that female dog going in heat. They be fighting and so on and so forth. So it let you know the man, the human man, he go the same wits or for a woman. Read.
A man lived with his own father.
Where we at?
Verse 20.
Go ahead.
A man lived with his own father and brought him up in his own country and cleaveth unto his wife.
That's scriptural. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm saying you're going to leave both father and mother so you can cleave to your wife. Read.
He stood him not to spend his life with his wife, and remember neither father nor mother nor country. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you.
Right. Read.
Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
Right. So, because like I said, you got a lot of people they'll do all this stuff. They'll buy jewelry, buy a car, they'll buy a house, all this stuff they'll do to please their wife. You know what I'm saying? Just to go out of their way, they'll do these things. But I mean, nothing's wrong with it if it's in righteousness. Of course, you got to provide a house. You want to have a vehicle for transportation. But some people go out of their wits and do all type of crazy exotic stuff. Read.
Yea, a man take up his sword and go up his way to rob and to steal, to sell upon sea and upon rivers.
Right. That's like going to Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? He makes steal. He gonna give it to this female. He gonna give all that. He gonna go through all this crazy stuff that almost kill himself. Put himself in danger, Russian roulette to please that female. Read.
And looketh upon a lion and go up in the darkness. And when he have stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
Hear that? He'll bring it all back home to his love.
Yeah, meaning he'll face a lion. He'll face a lion to try to get what he need to get to bring back to his love.
Hear that? Man, this man going to line. Hey, look, I remember when Daniel was in the lion's den. Hey, I know he was shook, he was scared, but he had faith in the Most High. But this man, he don't even care. He'll run into a lion, man. Just like a male deer, you know what I'm saying? They out there, people's hunting season. That male deer, he gonna go crazy looking for that female deer. Read.
Verse 28, and it says, 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Hear that? That's the key thing. Many of them have run out of their wits, meaning out of their way. You know what I'm saying? They do anything to please. You see some of our forefathers and build groves and all that stuff for these women to please them. Okay, they'll try to cut the corners. Not keep God's commandments just to please that female.
And that's what you see in our community today too. That's why they sell dope, put rims on their cars. All of this is the flat of the woman. That's all. That's what it's all about. A rat. You getting on a rat wheel, and you trying to chase the dollar just to bring it home to that woman. That woman you love. You trying to have women. Put it that way. You trying to be a sugar daddy to multiple women.
Right.
Try to be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? they want like Officer bringing out. You got man, you know, they want all that money to be flashy to impress the woman. You know what I'm saying? Not just impress man, they want to impress the woman. A lot of females, they want to have that class. They want to have that class to grasp all the women, so they look like they something. You know what I'm saying? But that's evil though. Really.
Verse 26 again. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sake.
Hear that? They become servants for their sake. You know, now you doing stuff for the woman to please her. Why? Because you don't want to hear her mouth. that happens a lot. That's what be going on in the world. You hear that? A happy wife, a happy life. That's the saying.
That's Babylon.
It's a happy.
That's America's doctrine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. America doctrine right there. That's what you hear. That's what you hear from your boss and them, or you know, Esau today. This is where we get this from. We follow after their traditions. Read.
Right. Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women.
Hear that? Many have perished. Perished meaning they died. A lot of people died because of the women. Many have went off. Erred meaning they done went off and sinned, broke laws, things of that nature, you know, for the women. You know what I'm saying? Right. And not think about their own life, you know. I mean, this here go back. Matter of fact, give me that Genesis. You know what I want. Yeah, we're gonna read about everybody on the earth forefather here. We're gonna read about Adam here real quick. What did Adam do during the time of with him and his wife Eve? You know what I'm saying? You got that for me?
Yeah, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. I'm starting verse 1. You want to start at verse 1, right?
Yeah.
When it goes into it. So now the serpent, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Hear that? So I want y'all to see this as today, you know. But actually, this serpent is talking about, it's not talking about a snake. You know, it's going into a man, okay? Meaning, like, how you hear that term, a snake in the grass type man. Right. You know, this man's slick. He's very clever. And he came, who he come to? He came to Eve. He didn't come to Adam. You know, he knew Adam would have checked him. But he came to Eve. Let's let you know it was more people in the garden, not just a man, one woman. There was other people in the garden. Okay, read.
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it.
Hear that? It said God had. It's a commandment. God told Adam, don't mess with that tree. So where you think she got it from? She got it from the man. Adam told her, hey, we can't touch that tree. We can't mess with that. Meaning it's going to knowledge, okay? Read. It's going into, that thing was going into idolatry. I'm going to have somebody else bring that out, but read.
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Right.
And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Hear that? He said, you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil, right? So let's see what crossed her mind when she heard that. You know, this thing sounded pleasing to her. What was the reason? Read.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes.
It was what?
It was pleasant to the eyes.
It was pleasant to our eyes. Read.
And a tree to be desired to make one wise.
Hear that? That's the key thing. A tree to desire. She desired this to make one wise, meaning she wanted to be equal to her husband or surpass him. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. You know, that spirit coming, that masculine spirit.
Oh, that's heavy, y'all. Jump back up to the other second verse. I mean, back up to the verse.
Oh, verse 6 again?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Jump up to verse 3.
Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Read on.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. But God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as God.
As what?
As God.
So remember, Adam was already a God.
Right.
So she wanted to be a God like Adam. So that was the whole point. She was trying to be God, but Adam was the God of the.
She wanted equality.
Exact. All praise.
So right. You verse 6 again?
Read on. Yeah, read on. Yeah, verse 6.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
That wise meaning a God equal to Adam, read.
She took of the fruit thereof and did eat.
So she ate that thing, meaning she listened, she took up on that wisdom, read.
And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So he listened to that garbage, what she was bringing out. You want to touch on that, Officer Issachar, that precept?
Read it again.
Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the trees was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, which with her, and he did eat.
So get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Yes, sir. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So it says the beginning of what? What did Eve do?
Spiritual fornication.
So we think about fornication. We think like it has to be a woman cheating on a husband, things of that nature. Maybe a man just sleeping with a lot of women. But God says, read it again.
It said, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So it was spiritual fornication, right, Reed?
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
And that's the first sin on earth. It was spiritual fornication.
Hear that? So that's what you will find out what happened in the garden there. Okay, it wasn't no apple, wasn't no fruit that you would eat.
No,
this is what we taught in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Catholicism, all that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's telling you here the Bible answers itself precept upon precept to let you know it was a doctrine. Okay.
And it was heavy about that. Officer, to go back to the topic, it shows that Adam was a simp at that moment.
Yep.
Because he listened to the wife, knowing that God told him before the wife even came, hey, listen, this is how it's supposed to be done in the garden. This is what I want you to do. That's all you got to do. Wind up listening to the wife, and now he became a simp.
Yeah, and he taught her because when she answered the question, she said, I'm not supposed to eat it, right? But when you read chapter 2, I think it was where God told Adam that he's not supposed to do it before she was even created.
Right.
So he taught it to her. He did teach it to her. He did his job. But then when she came back with him with the doctrine, he didn't correct her.
Right.
He didn't say, hold on. God already told me not to listen to this woman like this.
So this is the thing. This is what Adam was supposed to show Eve when she did that. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how he was supposed to handle that situation, not being a simp.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence.
So he was supposed to let the woman learn in silence. But read on.
With all subjection.
Read on.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man.
So she wasn't supposed to assert authority over Adam. But read on.
But to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but woman being deceived.
Well, read that again.
It says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
So you see that? So Adam, if he would have just put her in a place, everything would have went like it was supposed to go. Right. But by him being a simp, he just went along with it.
Yeah, he went along with it, trying to be a pleaser, a man pleaser. Right. Well, actually, a woman pleaser, exactly. A simp.
Because I'm sorry, it goes back a little further in Genesis. He was moping around in the beginning by himself, saying, God kept saying, I can't find him to help me. I got to get him to help me. Why? Because he was moping around doing the work. He'd do anything just to get a woman. You know what I mean?
Can I get the real quick, Sirach 25 and verse 24? Because, it might hurt a woman's feelings right now. You know what I'm saying? It might be the deacon, the bishop of the church. That's a woman now because everything's out of order. Let's see what God says.
Sirach 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
Hold on, no. It was Adam who messed up.
It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin.
The first sin on earth was the woman listening to another nation. All right, go ahead.
And through her, we all died.
And because of Eve, we all die. Read.
Verse 20.
Now, this is what Officer Joe was bringing out.
Give the water no passage.
Shut the hell up. That's what he should have told her. He should have told her. Right. He should have told her, who the hell told you that? Don't listen to that. Hey, we're doing it the way God said. But he was a simp, and he listened to his wife, and he went to do the same thing. He went to listen and take the doctrines that was given to him. Read.
Give the water no passage. Neither a wicked woman liberty to get abroad.
And that's what we're gonna be doing today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be bringing it out. Go ahead.
I got to go to that one. I made a statement earlier. Get the one where it says chief things in life. It's a point though.
Okay.
In there, I want. 25. Because I made a statement saying that Adam was moping and stuff like that in the beginning. You may think, well, I didn't read that. Well, I'm gonna show you. Go to it. 29. Yeah. Because I made a statement. I want to make sure I clear it up.
21. I got you.
Jump to. I'm sorry. The one about it's a pillar arrest. She a pillar arrest. I'm sorry.
25.
25.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
25.
When he was like, it's a beautiful.
Agree together.
Huh?
Agree together.
Not that one. Maybe I continue. Let me look for it.
Yes, sir.
I continue.
Hey, I do want to say something because we brought out something about in First Ezra 4, right? It says about the mouth, verse 19, and letting all those things go, they do not gape, and even with their mouths fixed, their eyes fast on her. So they open their mouth. Who has seen the movie The Mask?
Oh, I see.
With Jim Carrey, right?
Yes, sir.
Remember, he goes into the bar and he turns into the dog and his tongue comes out and his eyes start like going straight to her, right?
Yeah.
Right? The definition in the urban, I want to get it back to the topic. It says the definition of simp, a word that everyone overuses without the correct definition. It means a guy that is overly desperate for the woman, especially if she's a bad person, because the woman Cameron Diaz was a bad person in that movie, right? She was a bank robber. It says, or has expressed her disinterest in him, which he has continued to be obsessed over her. Because Stanley Ipkiss in the movie, right? Remember, he was a little bank teller, right? He was basically like a nerd. Right. He wanted to impress her so bad that he put on a mask, right? So that he can become this cool, person, right? Right. And he could turn into anything. He loved that thing. He was trying to dance with her. He was trying to impress her. Remember, he loved her in the whole movie, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, he didn't get her. She didn't like him. Even though he saved her life, he ate the bomb. Remember, he faced the lion. Yeah. He put a whole bomb in his belly and blew himself up for the woman. And at the end of the movie, she didn't want him. He ended up being with the other sister. Remember, the nice one, the one that was like the one that betrayed him in the beginning with got him sold to the other guy, to the bad guy. But the point is, our men got to stop being simple men, and they make movies where they promote that we should be simple men. You know what I'm saying? Or music. That's what we was bringing out earlier. Also, they bring out these jagged edge songs, these Avants, right. These songs where men are crying to the woman, talking about, I need you, I love you, I'll do anything for you. But then the Cater for You with Destiny's Child is being banned in all media today, right, because they're trying to say that it degrades women. Right. No, that was your role from the beginning. You were supposed to be created to help men, right, but to cater to us. Right, and I got the scripture now. It still goes into what you're talking about. 36, Sirach 36, 22. I got you. Start there. Because I did make a point earlier. I just want to bring this out. All right, Sirach 36 and what? Sirach 22. 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. We read that in Ezra about Zerubbabel. We love a beautiful woman, right? Go ahead. If that's a stipulation with that beautiness. Two-letter word. Two-letter word. It's a big meaning. If what? If there be kindness, come on, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men. Because when you have those attributes, ladies, your man is like nobody else. You treat that man specifically as a God on earth, right? But watch this. Go ahead. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. You mean to take care of possession, not just a possession that you destroy, nothing like that. It's talking about taking care of possession, like a new car. You take care of a car, right? Mm-hmm. It's talking about the same thing. Come on. A like unto himself. Read it again. What? a help like unto himself,
Uh-huh.
and a pillar of
A
rest.
pillar of rest, not a pillar of pest. Pillar of rest is you that foundation to hold up the man when he on his lower state. Watch this next point.
Verse 25, where no hedge is,
Like Eve was mentioning, it said, where's no hedge is what?
there the possession is spoiled.
She becomes spoiled, become bad, because nobody's guiding her to say, be quiet, sit down, don't do that. Watch this though.
And he that had no wife
Go ahead.
will wander up and down mourning.
That's what happened with Adam. That's why I made that statement earlier. Adam was over there moping around looking for a wife. It says, and he that have no wife will run up and down mourning. So that's what happened with Adam before. Then he had Eve, and it became the sin. But then he fixed the issue. Go ahead.
Let me get 1 Corinthians 11 and 3.
All right.
And then,
I got you.
go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and that the head of the woman is the man, and that the head of Christ is God.
So that's how it was set up from the beginning. Okay. Paul was just reiterating it, that given the divine order of God, it's always been set up that way. Read that from the top again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and that the head of the woman is the man, and that the head of Christ is God.
And why did Paul have to reiterate the law? Because when you go into the Church of Corinth, they was following Diana, the queen of heaven, which is what they follow in today's society, Easter.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, so at this point, and at this particular time, Corinth being a Greek province, a Greek city following Greek customs, they catered to the women, okay, which is going away from God. So Paul had to establish that the man is over the woman in the church, because they have problems with the women leading in Corinth. So read 3 again.
Verse 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and that the head of the woman is the man,
Mm-hmm.
and the head of Christ is God.
Read on.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head.
So Paul established the divine order again. God, Christ, man, woman. Read on.
Verse 5, but every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonors her head.
Who's her head? The man. So if she's praying or reading the scriptures with her head uncovered, she's dishonoring her head, which is her Lord, her husband.
Right.
Read on.
For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
If she was bald, read.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
Okay, now jump to verse 7.
Verse
That's
7.
the point.
For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God.
So read that part again.
For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image.
The man is the image
and glory of God.
So that the man is God. The black man is God's glory. He made us to rule the earth. Read on.
But the woman is the glory of the man.
What's he read that part again?
But the woman is the glory of the man.
So why we be what's word confounded in American society or tricked into following the women? Okay, because God, we the glory of God, and the woman is the glory of us. How you reverse role? How you reverse role? How do you the Lord created something for you, and then you follow the creature. Read on.
Verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
So the woman came out of the man. Read.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
That's it on that?
For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
Okay, so basically the angels going into who? It's going to the righteous men that she's up under. Okay, right. So basically that's the divine order. Women was always supposed to be under their husband.
Right. That's right.
All right, you live with IUIC George Gregory show. Sorry, George Gregory show. Listen, call in if you got any questions. 252-435-2554. 252-435-2554 for comments or questions.
All right, let's see. Let's get right back into this simp thing. Let's see what the woman looked for to see how she try to find a simp. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13. Let's see what this woman try to look for when she's looking for a simp.
Yes, sir.
She know the attributes of a simp.
You said Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13.
Read it.
A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing.
See that? She said, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. But read on.
Verse 14. For she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city.
So she's sitting at a doorpost at the high, meaning she's sitting out watching all the cars go by and everything. But read on.
To call passengers who go right on their ways.
So she's sitting around looking for simple men. So let's see what she's looking for, though.
Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither.
Who is what?
Who is simple, let him turn in hither.
So a simple man is going to turn right into this woman. They know she's sitting on the corner every day looking, hollering at men. And this simple man, he would be the one that she would pick up. He can't see it, but he trying to lock her down. And that's everybody woman on the block.
He fell into the trap.
Yeah, but read on.
And as for him that wants of understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant.
But read that part.
But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are all in the depths of hell.
So you see that when you turn in there and go in there, you in the depths of hell. The dead are in there, meaning she got dead bones in that house, meaning she's got souls in that house. All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back here to Corinthians. Let's go here to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Let's start at verse 33 real quick. So we got to see, the Most High, he doesn't deal with confusion, okay? There's never confusion amongst him.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
Meaning he doesn't start confusion, okay? Only man makes confusion. Read.
But of peace as in all churches of the saints.
Right, the saints are the Israelites, you read about that in Psalm 50 and verse 5, Psalms 148 and verse 14. That's going into who the saints are, which are the Israelites. So now we know, read it again, verse 33.
For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace as in all churches of the saints.
Right, correct, read.
Verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
So he had to bring that out. Just like what obviously Yeh was saying, hey, he said, let your woman keep silence in the churches. Why? Because there's confusion going on in these Christian churches. You got all type of craziness going on up in there. People dancing like they in the nightclub. Read.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Right. They're not supposed to be out there speaking, being all loud or all in the man's face, at church and stuff. Everybody has their role. But read.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
Under obedience, meaning under what the law says. I'm not making this up. I'm reading thus saith the Lord in the Bible. It's the New Testament.
Right.
Read.
As also saith the law.
This also says the law. Read.
Verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
Here, say that again. Read that again.
He said, and if they will learn anything.
If you want to learn anything about these scriptures, right? This is going into that married wife. Okay, if you single, you need to go ask your father, okay, or your big brother, or whoever's appointed over your leadership. Read.
Let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
He said it's a shame for the women to speak. This is why all this gossip and confusion. This one out. This one want to wear the big hat. Or this one here dresses all. Most High about order. So jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14.
Yeah, verse 40. I'm sorry.
Verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. So they said, let all things be done decently and in order. That close it out in that chapter. Okay. Why? Because things were being done out of order in that church. Okay. Just like today, everything is out of order.
So, oh man, that was heavy. So let's get some history on some of our forefathers. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 21. Let's see how one of our forefathers, how he handled things being a simp. This man was a straight up simp. But let's start at verse 1.
1 Kings chapter 21, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard, which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab king of Samaria.
Read on.
And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs.
So Ahab wanted this vineyard from Nabal. He wanted it bad. But read on. Let's see what happened. Read on.
Because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money.
So he was trying to buy this vineyard from him, but he didn't want. So let's see what he told Nabal.
And Naboth said unto Ahab, The Lord forbid me, that I should give the inheritance of my father unto thee.
So he didn't want to sell his inheritance off. He didn't want to sell his inheritance off. That was one of his inheritance from his family. So let's read on.
And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him.
So remember, Ahab was a king now. Remember, he was a king. And he was, after Nabal had told him he couldn't buy this, he come in the house heavy. He had in other words, pouting like a baby.
Crying.
Yeah,
Come in the house pouting like a baby. Crying. Yes, sir.
Put his thumb in his mouth.
Yeah, but read on. Let's see how deep he got depressed. But read on.
For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread.
So he went and cried to his wife. He went and cried to his wife that this man would not sell his land to him. And read that top verse again.
It says, And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him.
So he went and laid down and wouldn't even eat because he was so depressed. Let's get some scripture on what you shouldn't be dealing with your wife with certain matters. Get Micah 75 right quick.
Bring it out.
Let's get Micah 75 because when you laying down and in your bed, you don't supposed to be pillow talking with your wife like that.
Especially about matters like that.
Yes.
Micah chapter 7 verse 5. Trust ye not in a friend. Put ye not confidence in a God. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom.
You see that? He said, read that one more time.
It says, Trust ye not in a friend. Put ye not confidence in a God. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy
Meaning
bosom.
shut your mouth when you laying up beside your wife, telling her everything. That's what it's telling you. So let's go back. Let's see how this man handled his situation.
1 Kings 21 and verse 5. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him.
So they call her the Jezebel. She come into play. All right. So let's read on.
But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread?
You hear this? This man couldn't even eat. He wasn't even eating. His wife had to go in there and baby him, telling him to eat. But read on.
And he said unto her, Because I speak unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And
so he was pouting like a baby, man.
Right.
He was so depressed. He was just pouting, just acting like a pew brat, man, with his wife. So let's see who manned up. Was it him or his wife? Let's see who manned up.
And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel?
What she say to him?
Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel?
So she said, Are you not the king over Israel? Meaning, man up, gird up, get your loins up, man.
Right.
But read on.
Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry.
So she had to tell the king to get up out of the bed and quit pouting and go eat something. And what she gonna do? She gonna go handle the matter. But read on.
I will give thee the vineyard.
She said, what?
I will give thee the vineyard.
So she said, get up and go eat something, and I'll go handle it. So in other words, she took the kingship from him right then. She the king now. But read on.
I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So she said she'll go get the vineyard. So she went and manned up. He couldn't even man up, but she did.
So you mean tell me they went and changed clothes? So she put on his pants. He put on his skirt.
Exactly. She went and put on her pants, and he went and put on the skirt. That's bad, man. I'm telling you. So that's that's history showing you our people were simps back then. Even our king was simps back in them days. But read on.
Yes, sir. verse 8. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name.
So she took and started writing letters in Ahab. In other words, she was using the king's signet.
Forwarding.
She was forging.
She forging, yeah. She was, a king got a signet. She was using all of his power and authority, man. But read on.
And sealed them with his seal.
And she did what? That was the signet. She sealed it with his seal.
Right.
So meaning she had complete power over the kingdom right then.
Mm-hmm.
But read on.
And sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city dwelling with Naboth.
So she went and sent letters all over the provinces that he ruled over, and did what?
And she wrote in the letters saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people.
So what she was doing, she would get ready to set up a scenario to get this land. Remember, that's what she said. She'll go handle it.
Right.
So she was setting up a situation to take this land from this man. But read on.
And set 2 men's sons of Belial before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king.
So she got 2 men to lie on this man. She got 2 men that actually gonna set him up and tell a lie, so she could get this land for her husband. But read on.
And then carry him out and stone him that he may die.
So you see that? So they get ready to lie on this man and take him out and stone him. That's because this king couldn't man up and take his kingdom and do what he's supposed to do to try to get somebody else vineyard or something else. But he wanted this. He was like a little baby. He wanted this. He wanted like a little kid. But read on.
And the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. They proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, the children of Belial, and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones that he died.
So you see that they did exactly what this Jezebel told them to do. They did it word by word. They did exactly what she said. Now let's see what she got after she did this to this man. What happened? Read.
Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard.
You hear that? So she went back home and told him, get up off your ass, because I got the vineyard for you.
Right.
Get up, king. I went out and did your job for you and got the king. So get up and now and act like a king again.
Right.
But read on.
Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money. For Naboth is not alive, but dead.
You see that? So she went out and killed this man because the king was pouting.
Right.
Read the next verse.
Verse 16. And it came to pass when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it.
Hear that? Take possession. I mean, that's evil, man. He went there and had the guy got killed, and he know that was wrong. So like go to we're gonna go to 1 Kings chapter 16 real quick and start at verse 29 real quick. So we're gonna show you that Ahab, he was wicked. He was wrong for what he did. We show you some more stuff he did with his wife. For his wife, and his wife wasn't Israel either. Read.
1 Kings chapter 16, verse 29. And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Ahab the son of Omri to reign over Israel. And Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years.
Read.
And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord above all that were before him.
Right, before all his forefathers, the lineage of those kings, he did the worst at this time right here. Read.
And it came to pass that if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Baal, king of the Zidonians.
Meaning, so she was from Zidon, what you read about Tyre and Zidon. So she was, what you would call a Hamitic, one of them African tribes today. Okay, so he married outside. For one, he married outside his race. You know what I'm saying? They're going to what is it?
Interracial marriage.
Yeah, interracial marriage. Read.
And went and served Baal and worshipped him.
You see that? He did that and he started trying to please her. He started worshiping her God.
Right.
Okay, read.
And he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria.
Right, you hear that? So he built up her altar. He did this for her because he going out of his wits to serve the woman. Read.
And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him.
Hear that? This made the Most High come to wrath. Most High was mad at him. Very, very heated at this guy. So with that, give me we're gonna move around here real quick. Go to Sirach chapter 25 and verse 2 real quick. Give me that Sirach chapter 25 verse 2 because we got we see this all the time with a lot of the old men. You know how they be trying to look for a young woman.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna see what this is right here. Read,
right. Sirach chapter 25 verse 2. 3 sorts of men my soul will hate it, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, an old adulterer that doteth.
Hear that? The key thing is the old adulterer that doteth. Okay, this is old man. He's married, and he's out here, being a sugar daddy. You got some that's single. So they're an old fornicator that doteth. Right? Let's find out what this word doteth means. Read this right here. This is from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. The second.
To be lavish or excessive in one's attention, fondness, or affection, usually used with on.
Hear that? So this going into, we're gonna find out some of the attributes. We'll give you the synonym of this real quick. Read this right here. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, thing popped up. Read that right there. The synonyms.
The synonym of doteth. Adore.
Adore. This man going out here adoring women. Read.
Canonize.
Defy. Going to like deity defiety, worshiping. Read.
Hero worship.
Who?
Hero worship.
He making her an idol. Read.
Idolize.
Worship. So that's what he's doing. He's going out here spoiling these women and stuff. God said he hate. God don't like men like that. We ain't supposed to do that. Okay, you gotta remember, we the head of the household. We supposed to be ruling the house. We can't be no simps. We can't be here trying to serve the damn women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The woman's supposed to serve you, was created to serve you, not you to serve her.
Did you bring it out?
I didn't bring that out. So go ahead.
Okay, let me get that then. Let's get it.
I know that earlier you said 1 Corinthians and the whole church of Corinth. You said that they were Paul was setting up that order because women have become the head of the church, right?
Exactly.
So when we read the other history that you just brought up, also Nahum, he built churches for Baal, right, in Samaria. So today, our men are being simple because they starting to go to these churches for the women. The men that go to the church, they don't want to be there.
Right.
They go over there because they simping over those women that are Catholics, that are Christians, that are Mormons. So they go in those churches trying to please that woman, right? They sitting there knowing they don't like what the pastor talking about, knowing that he sounds effeminate, but they sitting in there because that girl he liked, because that woman he liked, that woman that's opening the legs, he got to go in there Sunday though, because if not, he can't be with her next week. Makes some sense. Go ahead.
Oh, praise. Do you want to bring it out?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And also, I want to establish what Paul was reestablishing in the church of Corinth.
Yes,
Go to Genesis 3:16. So this was what Paul was speaking. He said he was basically telling them this was in the law. Okay, because Genesis is part of the law. Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
And that what?
And thy conception.
Uh-huh.
And sorrow that thou shalt bring forth children.
So now the Lord has put this curse on our women, as all women, and then now they have problems when they're going through their pregnancy. It's pain. Okay, read on.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Thy what?
And thy desire shall be unto thy husband.
Uh-huh.
And he shall rule over thee.
Read that part again.
And he shall rule over thee.
So that was established from the beginning that the man was to rule over his woman.
Right.
From the beginning. So that's what Paul was reiterating. Go ahead, officer.
Yeah, read that again real quick. Remember. Well, I'm gonna touch back here on in chapter 3. Read that again, that scripture.
Verse 16.
Word desire.
The woman And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Uh-huh.
And sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Remember, thy desire shall be to thy husband. Remember, back to verse 6. Go back up on verse 6. She had a different desire. Her main desire, she wanted to be equal or more than the man.
Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
Said a tree to be desired to make one wise. This is what she was desiring after.
Right.
God said, nah, this is what you're going to desire. Your husband. Read.
Back in 16, keep going.
6. Keep reading on 6.
She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Right. So now jump back to 16. Now, so God fixed everything back. Read.
And so thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right.
And he shall rule over them.
He gonna rule over you. You know what I'm saying?
So the Lord had to reestablish it like Paul had to reestablish it. So the Lord put it back in order, and up until the time of Paul. So Paul had to put it back in perspective.
Right. I want to bring something out here, and we got a book here called the Willie Lynch right here. So we're gonna show you something right here. This same thing, how Satan come to the women. You know what I'm saying? What he did here, how he reversed the roles during slavery. This happened to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
This is the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. It's in page 17, but we're going to jump over a little bit.
Read.
It says, understand is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into the area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in the breaking of a female nigger.
Hear that? Read.
We have reversed the relationships.
They have reversed the relationships, because this is what you see going on today. Everything's, but when we about to read, you see this going on in our community. You see it in your house. Read.
In her natural uncivilized state, she will have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male. And she would have limited protective dependency toward her independent male offspring, and will raise female offsprings to be dependent like her.
Right. So the order is, that woman was supposed to depend on the man. So they know this. They know this role. They knew our law, statutes, and commandments, how we maneuver to do right unto God. But they said, let us flip this thing.
We reverse nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigger apart and bullwhipping the other to point of death. All in her presence.
So they're gonna beat the man up all in front of the woman to break. This how they broke us, right? Like how you would break a horse or a certain type of animal to tame them. Read.
By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
Now she becomes that independent woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody. I could do bad all by myself.
That's why I said where there's no hedge, the possession is spoiled. They took the hedge out.
They took the hedge out. Now the possession is spoiled. Now she running abroad.
Right. And even they're making music to continue. INDEP. They still making songs about it. That's what keep pushing them, going back to what you said about evil communication, corrupted manners. And this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles.
So she's gonna raise the children up in reverse roles. Read.
For fear of the young male life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak,
effeminate,
and dependent, but physically strong.
So he'd be strong, meaning he'd be like a thug.
He could play sports.
He could play sports. He's strong. This like going to Dwayne Wade. He fast. He can dunk. But he's weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A woman running him. A woman took his child, and it took one of his male child and trying to and turning him to a female. Right. I'm gonna say transgender, changing his gender. And he's just a young man.
Wow.
Especially. First, then get physical. But it said because she has become psychologically independent, she would train her female offspring to be psychological independent as well. What have you got? You got the nigger woman out front and the nigger man behind scared.
Yeah, that's why he said, my mama this, my mama that. You know what I'm saying? Also, I'm going to bring this out too. Also, we got Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? He's a simp. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring this out. His wife said she want an open relationship. What is he doing? Think about it. She wasn't all that popular. She played all the ghetto hood roles until she married him. Then she started getting good roles. And now she, he got a family, he got a children, women, kid, they got everything going nice. But the kids are out of order now because they spoiled them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Will Smith, he's allowing his wife to have an open relationship. Why? To please her.
Right.
She's supposed to be
She
pleasing
said
him.
she still love a dead man.
Oh yeah, she still loves Tupac.
Right.
That's
Man
the
been
only
dead
man
over-
she ever loved.
This man been dead over 20-some years.
Right. I want to give a solution
Go ahead.
about how to get out of this state. 1 Peter 1:13 real quick. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13 real quick. So man, how do you get out of this simp stage? Well, first you got to know the knowledge that you're an Israelite. You must start keeping God's laws and commandments to build your self-esteem and give self-respect to yourself first. And then while you keeping God's laws and commandments, you also must what?
1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your
And
mind.
gird that up, because as men we're weak like they had created us, and we try to run away from every situation. As a man, you're supposed to stay there and build and fight for your nation of people. So read it again.
Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober.
Be sober minded. Don't be getting smoking, drinking, or getting drunk, getting high because you're trying to leave reality. No, stay in reality and fight for your people and control your spiritual and discipline yourself. Read.
And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought onto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ.
Because wow, we are God's upon the earth. If you fight and continue to keep God's laws and commandments, you will get the kingdom. And that's what we're pushing. We all got our own mental hang-ups, and we must continue to fight. Come on, more solutions.
Let me get Ecclesiastes 7:26. It's another solution. Going back to what we teach. What do we teach in Israel United in Christ? To learn your nationality and keep the commandments. You have to learn to keep all the commandments of God, right?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 14. 26, I'm sorry. And I found more bitter than death the women.
So God is letting you know it's better to be dead to find that type of woman that makes you a simp. Read.
Whose heart is snared and net.
Will Smith's wife is snaring a net to him. That's why you see TV shows where he crying and all that stuff. Read.
And her hands as bands. Who so pleaseth God.
If you please God by keeping his commandments,
shall escape from her.
You will escape from that woman. You won't be given that woman, because the Bible says a wicked woman is given as a portion of a wicked man. Also, Job read something in Proverbs where it says the woman is loud, clamorous, and simple.
Right.
And then it says the simple fall into her trap. So a wicked man falls into those traps.
Right.
But if you're righteous, you won't fall for this. Read.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
So a sinner is someone who breaks God's commandments. If you sin, you will be caught in that trap. If you don't sin, you won't find that type of woman.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, give me one more scripture. Job chapter 40:7.
Job chapter 40.
So this is what we're telling you men.
Gird up the loins now like a man.
What?
Gird up thy loins now like a man.
Gird up your loins like a man. Let's see. Let's what?
I will demand of thee. And
God said He demanded it of you. He demanded this thing of you. Gird your loins up like a man, and what?
And declare thou unto me.
So you see that? So we got to gird our loins up like a man.
Give me Tobit 4 and 5 real quick. Let's see what Tobit read to what he told his son here. Read that right here.
Tobit 4, and you said verse 5? Verse 5. My son, be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness.
Right. That goes into, like back to 1 Kings 2 and 1 and 2 and 2. Show thyself a man and keep these commandments.
Oh, praise that. So thank you for joining us today, Israel. We also have a YouTube page. Just type in IUIC in the classroom. Also, our physical school is located at 111 South Market Street, Benson, North Carolina. 111 South Market Street, Benson, North Carolina. And with that, we say
shalom.
Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.